Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for joining. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
Yes, I'm also good. Thank you. Gone through CV. Yeah. Before we begin our discussion, maybe if you can give a brief introduction about yourself, your career so far, and the projects you've been part of.
Yeah,
So what we'll do, we'll start with the basics and let's see how it goes.
yeah,
Should be okay. We all use SOPs, right? System dot out dot println. Can you tell me what is system, what is out, and what is println in this state?
okay. System is a class, and out we can say it is a because system dot out. Then out is a static member of that class, and println because out is an a static member and it has methods overloaded print and println. So these are the method inside the print stream class. So we are creating a static member inside the system as print stream out.
Oh, perfect. One thing I missed to ask you in your introduction, okay, out of all the technical skills that you have mentioned, right? What would you rate as your strongest skill, okay, followed by maybe that you are not well versed with, okay? Just for my understanding,
Mhm.
what is your strength? How would you rate yourself in all of your technical skills?
Strength,
That ways.
okay, so strong is Java only, and
In Java, as in the core Java you're talking about,
yes, yes.
or Spring Boot, microservices, all of that combined.
I'm talking about core Java, then
Core Java is
yeah,
strongest. Okay.
then Spring Boot, and
Hmm.
apart from that, then Apache Kafka have recently started. Microservices also recently started. Spring Boot I have been working since 4 years. So Spring Boot after that, after Spring it is Spring Boot, and then microservices, and then Apache Kafka. And also UI part at last because when I get chance I will work on that. Otherwise, I'm not actively
Okay.
working on
Perfect.
this.
So in UI, it is Angular. It is something else.
I started my career with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery, and then I shifted to Angular 1.3 and then Angular 4.
So you are aware of Angular also, or this needs to be worked upon?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I can work, but like theoretically, I'm not that much aware of that.
Oh, no problem. So core Java being the strongest, right? That is what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Coming back. So do you know what are the variable arguments in Java?
Variable length argument.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So it is a like our method accepts some values, so we need to pass that particular value. In variable length argument, we can pass any object, like what we can say it's a kind of array we can pass there. So we have three dots in our method and the argument name after the type.
Okay. So when we declare a main method, okay,
Okay.
what is the argument in the main method for it to be
String
executed?
string array args.
String array. So can we replace it with the variable length arguments and still make it work?
I didn't try, but yeah, we can do that. But I'm not sure whether JVM will understand that is the same method or not.
Yeah, that is my question. I mean,
Mm,
will the JVM be able to execute it if we do that? Not sure.
it won't. I think because
Okay.
it always expecting string arguments.
Only. Okay. You sure?
I'm not sure actually. I haven't tried.
Okay. No problem. Fine. There are two declarations. int I is equal to 9. Okay.
Mhm.
And int I is equal to 0, 9.
Uh,
Okay.
int I is equal to 9 and int I is equal to 09.
Yes. Do you think there is a difference between these two?
Yes, there is difference, but if we print, it will print only 9. I think
Print only 9. Okay. Is int I is equal to 0, 9 a valid statement in the first place?
09. That's an integer value only we can assign. I think.
You sure you won't get any error, right?
Actually, I did not try it, but because new features came where we can assign some other like underscore separation and x followed by something. Then
Integer you can assign underscore also.
no, in long I heard about like where we can pass underscore in between, but integer I haven't. Let me remind myself about integer. So integer, it is integer object or it is primitive.
Either,
Okay,
either.
either.
Let's start with primitive.
Okay, so I don't think it will give an error because it's an integer value only.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the base class?
Okay, supermost class are you talking about? So base class is a okay definition wise like whatever the class we are creating and suppose we have A class and B class. So in that, if I am extending A class, then A is base class and B is child class.
Okay. And can you tell me a difference between a base class and an abstract class?
Okay, abstract class, like in abstract class we can have abstract method as well as fully concrete method, and base class can be the abstract class as well, because sometimes what happens, we are extending the abstract class, and if we are extending the abstract class, then we need to provide body of all the abstract method in our child class. Abstract class can be a base class as well.
How is an abstract class different from an interface?
Yeah, so interface consists only abstract method before 1.7, and abstract class can have fully concrete methods, fully implemented method, as well as if you want to assign, like we can use as a abstract as well as partially also we can use, we can provide bodies for few methods, and we can make few methods as abstract, and also the variable inside the interface are by default public static final, we can't change that, and inside the abstract class we can change the it is an instance variable only.
Okay. And how about a functional interface and an abstract class?
Functional interface can have only one abstract method, and abstract class can have multiple abstract methods, and we can write lambda function for functional interface. That is the difference.
So usually, what are the collections that you work with?
Usually list, array list, and hash map most of the time.
There is a use case. Okay.
Mhm.
You have a hash map that you have overridden. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
And you have overridden the hash code method of the hash map.
okay.
Okay. So when you hash code, it always returns a constant value, 1. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me, now you add multiple values to this hash map. Okay.
Mhm.
So what would be the complexity of retrieving a value from such a hash?
It's order of n, because it will create list of linked list, it will create, because every time we are returning a same constant value, so it will append to the same index, and then if we are searching the element from linked list, it will order of n.
Do you know what is rehashing?
Rehashing, I think when our hash map reaches to its max value, and it will again resize it, and then again it will like suppose we have initial capacity of 16 and it reaches to its maximum threshold, then it will again resize it, so that is called rehashing, I think.
Okay. Anything else that you can think about for rehashing apart from reaching the capacity?
Actual word, I think when.
Okay. We can skip that. Okay. Can you tell me what is the criteria for a hash map key?
Okay, so should be unique, key should be unique. So we are using string though, so string is immutable in nature, so it will be more, it will perform better.
Can string be a hash map key?
Yes.
Can string builder be a hash map key?
String builder, no, I don't think string builder.
No.
Yeah, it
Will Java
can
not
be.
allow?
It no, it can be, but performance wise, string will perform better.
Okay. Why is that so?
String builder is not immutable in nature. There is a chance for duplicate objects with same key.
Can primitive integer type be a hash map key?
Primitive, no, because collection allow only objects.
Okay. And how about the wrapper integer?
Yeah, wrapper we can use.
So what is the reason that we cannot use primitive and can use integer wrapper?
Here collection came, so that's why wrapper came actually. So what happens earlier, in legacy system we have primitive, so there we have array. When we are moving to collection, so collection only supports object, won't support primitive type. That's why wrapper came into the picture, so they provided all the wrapper classes for all the primitive data types like int, float, double.
No, but
So
can you not store a primitive integer as a value of a hash map also?
as a value all cannot store, but in the wrap format we can hold.
Are you sure we cannot store the primitive as a value?
It should give error actually. I haven't tried, but it should give error, because if you are passing when we are creating instance, it won't accept or it won't accept that thing.
Okay. What is fail fast and fail safe in collection?
Fail fast, like when we are iterating collection and when we tries to modify it, then it will through concurrent modification exception, those are giving such an exception called as fail fast collection, and those collections are not giving called as fail safe, like array list and array list is fail fast, and copy on write is fail safe.
Coming back to hash map, you said string builder can be key, right?
Mhm,
String builder is allowed as okay. Now let's say there is a string builder, okay,
mhm.
and you append the value to it, okay, and against that value, you put the key as and value at as let's say amdocs.
Okay,
Excuse me. Okay. Now you append Kumar to the key, okay, to your
okay,
original string builder,
okay.
okay, and now you try to fetch the value with the same string builder from the hash map.
Okay, let's suppose it is accepting the string builder, and we have now Kumar, and
Right.
in this,
The value from the same string builder.
mhm,
What will be the value? You get the question, or should I repeat?
yeah, I got you. Like we have string builder, like in first we append that, and then we add some value like mdocs or what, and then we have appended it to Kumar, and then again we have provided some other value to it. So in
No,
that
no, no. We
case,
are not providing.
okay,
We are not providing any other value.
okay,
Okay. String builder str. Okay.
mhm,
Str dot append. Okay.
okay,
Now, hash map, let's say object is map dot put str, comma, whatever value. Then I do str dot append Kumar. Okay. Now I do a map dot get str. Now you got my question?
yeah, yes. Okay,
Okay.
same
So
object being used here.
basically the key is modified. What would I get in return?
Okay, so if key is modified, in such case, HasMap should not allow such type of.
So what will happen? Will you get a compile time error?
It should give the compile time error only in such case, because we cannot get the actual object, actual value with that. I haven't
Okay.
tried, but I think it should give some error.
On which line? On adding the string builder into a map or modifying?
I think when we are creating, okay, whenever we are initializing, it should give there itself, so that no one can use those object as a key.
Okay. Fine. Okay. There are two variables. Okay.
Mhm.
And you are already like you are storing rates of interest
Yes.
in the two variables. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you want to compare these two variables for equality, whether the two rates are equal or not.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the data type you will choose and how will you compare?
Okay, rate of interest.
Let's say even better is a rate of a currency. Okay. Exchange rate.
Mhm. Okay, so pattern variation. One thing we can do, big decimal is there. Earlier we are using, but let's say it's a double value because it has floating point amount, floating point value. Generally, we are comparing with equals. Here also floating point value we need to consider. So
So you're
inside
saying dot equals or double equal to or anything else?
double equal to won't work if it is an object. If it is a primitive, then it might work.
Either I leave it to you to decide the data type.
Okay, I used to compare that in big decimal, I think earlier in my previous organization. So there we have one method available in that big decimal for comparison and adding the values. Forgot the method, but we are comparing there
Any reason that you think double with dot equals method won't help?
because it compare the object. So if it is returning the address of that particular object, that might not work. It will return the address of object by default.
And what if it is a primitive type?
Primitive directly will return the value only, so we can compare by double equal.
Can and are there any chances of error? See, the
uh,
idea is rate usually have very high precision. Okay, at times
yes,
up to
yes.
10 decimal places.
Mhm.
Okay, so I want to ensure that even if it has a precision of up to 10 decimal places. Okay, the equality should return true only if they are really okay. But there are chances that with these data types, okay, there may be some certain what do you call it collapsing of the final bits right?
Mhm.
What I want to understand, how would you make sure that there is no such occurrence?
Yes, definitely. I faced the situation front end itself. What happens when we are calculating the amount, it will actually generating sometimes it is generating for two floating point and sometimes it is generating for three to four. So there is a difference between the at Java side. So how I handled it. So what we did at UI side, we have modified it to up to two decimal only we allowed, and at the Java side we used big decimal only for calculating the amount, so that helped actually. Otherwise in float and double there is an inconsistency between the data we found
Okay.
sometimes. Yeah,
Good
it
to
won't work.
know that.
Yeah,
How long does a heap memory and stack memory live in Java?
heap memory. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I think it memory for object. So once we init we start our execution, it will assign, and until and unless we shut down our JVM, it will remain, I think.
Okay. What about stack memory?
Stack is one per thread, I guess. So once thread execution completes, then it might not available.
Can you tell me what is marker interface in Java?
Marker interfaces like, yeah, input interface called as marker interface, such as a serializable clonable mode. These are some marker interfaces by which we can provide some extra facility that this object is serializable, and we can serialize this particular object.
Okay, so these are some of the predefined marker interfaces, right?
Mm,
Serializable clonable.
yes, yes.
Can you create your own custom marker interface?
The answer, because they have created, so we can also create, but so we need to make JVM aware, like how, see, this is the instance of that particular class, so you need to perform like this. I think we can create. I never tried, but because if
How
they
would
are
you
able to,
use it? Even if you create it, how would you use it?
yeah, that is the thing, because yeah, some similar functionality we can implement, how marker interface internally working there in our program itself we can implement, but up to the JVM we cannot. Okay, suppose we want some functionality to be executed if our type is such like, I have created one marker interface ABC, so if it is an instance of that, then only we will process that loan, otherwise we will not process that loan. So in such case, whoever is applying the loan, they should implement our interface, then only they will be able to call our service like this, I can guess.
Okay. Have you worked with, okay, before that, I have a use case, okay? I have a list of employees, okay,
Yeah.
where employee is a bean and it has two properties, employee ID and manager ID, okay?
Okay, employee have two field.
Employee is a Peugeot,
Yes, yes.
okay? Two fields are there, one is employee ID, one is manager ID,
Okay.
okay? So employee ID can be anything, 100, 200, 300, 400, and corresponding managers could be again anything, 200, 300, 400.
Hmm.
Right? It is basically the complete organization hierarchy. So for example, if your ID is 100, your manager ID is 200, okay? That
Hmm.
will be one entity. Similarly, there will be some peer of yours whose employee ID is 100, and his manager ID is again 200, right?
Hmm.
That way. Again, 200 ID is again one employee ID, and his manager ID could be 300, right? So on and so forth. And we have an array list of this complete employee ID, right?
Okay.
Okay, you understand the structure?
Yeah, we have employee ID and manager ID, and we are storing those values, whatever the ID we have in the employee class, and we are assigning it to array list, and we are adding those elements to array list.
Okay, so this is the master employee list for your whole organization as well.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
all I need to do is I just need all the employees that are directly reporting into manager ID 200. Okay, how will you go about it?
Okay. So okay, in that case we can use stream. Yeah. What we will do? Okay. So we have list dot stream, and inside after that we can do filter, like filter, and there we will pass employee and arrow, and there in that arrow we will write condition like e dot get manager id is equal to 200, and we will get that object, and then we will perform that operation or terminal operation. I think that is to list, and we will able to convert by stream.
You will not collect it.
Yeah, yeah. Collectors we have, I think, and to list is their method. I'm not getting actual name, but we will collect without collecting it will not provide us the actual list. After filter, we will get the employee which belongs to that particular manager.
Fine. Fine. Now tell me, you are filtering all this data.
Mhm.
But let's say in the master list, the manager ID 200 doesn't exist. Okay.
Mhm.
What will be result of the solution that you've just? Will it give me an empty list or will it give me some error?
So you mean to say employee ID, sorry, manager ID is null sometimes.
You know, manager ID is not null. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is, I give you a master list, right? From
Okay.
where you had filtered all the employees whose manager ID was 200. Okay.
Yes.
And you gave the right solution. What
Mhm.
I'm trying to say is you were filtering manager ID equal to 200. But let's assume in the master list also manager ID 200 does not exist at all. Okay. But
Oh.
you are trying to filter basis manager ID as 200. What
Mhm.
will happen? Will you get an empty list or will you get an error?
Okay. So we don't have. It should not give an error, I think, because it's doing filtering work, and it should give a empty list only. In that case.
Do you know what are optional classes?
Yes, optional to avoid null pointer exception. So it has methods of, yeah, we can
Have
use
you
simple.
used?
Yes, I used those methods, and is present is there to check whether the object is empty or not.
So do you think you could use optional classes also while doing the filtering in the earlier use case of employees?
Mhm.
Do you think you could use optional classes?
Yes, okay. In that case, at a place where we are comparing, there we can check if object is present. Optional dot off method is there where we can pass our object. Let's suppose that is our manager ID, and if it is present, then only we will perform that operation. So it will reduce if there is a chance of null pointer exception.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the circuit breaker pattern?
Yes, let's suppose we have microservice A, B, and C. So A is calling to B and B is also calling to C. In between, what happens that B is down, then our circuit will break, and we will not get the actual response or actual error. So in that case, what we will do, we will design circuit breaker design pattern using Histrix, so we can write the fallback methods over there. So in that case, we can return some of our logic there, like why it is down and what is the issue.
And how do you do a fault isolation?
Fault isolation, okay, whenever fault is occurred, then we need to separate that part I haven't worked. Suppose microservice B is down, then we have to isolate this. Some
Can you
load
tell me what
balance.
are the, yeah,
There might be some
what
load balancing you can use, maybe.
all right. Okay, I think I'm done from my end. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to ask?
Yes, may I know the project and technology stack, which
Yeah,
domain?
so this is
Fine,
okay.
nice talking to you.
Nothing.
I will increase my knowledge based on this discussion. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, nice one. Good luck.
Thank you.